to really close. Oh, I think that I found myself a cheerleader.
Good evening, guys. It's Simon at Kairos Capital Markets with the weekly review of pound, yen and Aussie dollar. So this week we're actually going to start with a different chart to what you normally would see. It's actually the weekly US dollar index. There's a reason for that, and you'll understand a little bit later when we look at the Aussie dollar chart. So a lot of people have been saying dollar's going to die, dollar's going to die. Now what I want you to actually understand and have a look here is we all are learning how markets breathe, but I want you to see what happened here. This is a bull trend, end of. That's a complete bull trend there, that is. Higher highs, high lows, higher highs, higher lows. So when we was in this area here throughout 2015 to 2016, people were saying the dollar's going to collapse, blah, blah, blah. It didn't, which, fine, fair enough, it doesn't. And in fact, it popped up and made a higher high. So now, if you just zoom in on this section here, since Trump has been in power, this bit here, it's been a bear trend on the daily. But this is not a bear trend on the weekly. As you can see, that is clearly a break, and now it looks to be retesting this area here at 122.00. So if you notice now, what I want for you guys to understand this is the reason why I'm expecting the dollar to have a weaker dollar for the moment. To confirm a bear trend or a reversal trend, we need to break a few key levels here. You break this 122.00 level and this 11750 level. Now it's very simple. What we could look for, one pattern would be a head and shoulder pattern. So this would be the left shoulder here. The head would be here. You break down. This area here would be the neckline. Pop back up here. And this would be the right shoulder forming here. Obviously, this is done on the weekly. So we're looking like middle of 2018. You know, that kind of area we'll be looking at. Everything's possible in trading, so always keep ideas in place. But for the moment, we have not made a lower low and we've not made a lower higher. What we're doing is just breathing on the weekly chart back to a very, very good area of value here. And it's right here, 122.00. Now, long-term trade will be most likely getting out their trades here. There'll be people putting orders in. So this area here, when it pulls back down and tests this area, don't be surprised for a lot of consolidation on the dollar and then there'll be macro driven afterwards. So now you understand what I'm looking for, why I think the dollar will get weaker short term. I want you to now understand this Aussie dollar chart. So we're going to look at the weekly chart here, and last week I said I wouldn't be surprised if we popped up above 78, come down for a retest and go up to 80. Now I'm still liking that idea, but obviously at the moment the Aussie has also just turned extremely weak. I will show you how to make an Aussie index on my other videos. I'll tag that in at the end, and you'll understand why the Aussie index is also saying the same thing, and the Aussie index is doing the same thing as the US dollar index on the daily, which is pulling back to value. So both of these are pulling back to value, and this chart here now, in the middle of nowhere right here for the daily, in between the key level and the weekly 50, it's just messy. There's no real trades there. And again, this is what happens on the daily. You broke above here, got a double top again. It's just done the same resistance, popped down, respected the daily 50, popped up, then popped down. It's really just, it's not very nice, not very clean. Some people say they can pick this, they can pick that, but when you look at the overall picture, it's not the best in all fairness in the world. So where do I think this will go next? Well, to be quite honest, I couldn't really give a damn where it goes next. I'll trade what I see, simple as that. So this is what I'll be looking to trade. Still break and retest of 77, or break below and retest of 75 to head lower. Obviously though, if we come down here to this level here at 7335, then come back up, that would, you could say it's inverse head and shoulder pattern, left shoulder, head and right shoulder be there, although I don't like it too much, but yeah, it does signal a much deeper higher low here, which would still mean we could go higher. Obviously, because the US dollar would still look like it needs to pull back on the weekly, that is all very viable. So for the moment, it's just wait for the market to do what it wants to do and go on from there. Unfortunately, pound yen still hasn't really done anything. So again, we'll pop back to the weekly, and the weekly is the same as every other week we've done for the last few weeks now. Just low test on 138 now. It's doing nothing, and this downward sloping trend on the weekly hasn't been broken. To the upside, it'd be nice to see some bullish pressure there, or some bearish pressure. Whatever way it wants to go, it can go there. And obviously on the daily, you can say I'd like to go into a bit more detail on this on the daily. You can say it has broken this trend line. We've got to wait for the daily 50 still, so breaking retest the daily 50 and 140 would be absolutely wonderful and beautiful to take long. That's, if all honesty, that's what I'll be looking for. And we'll just go to the intraday charts now for this one, just a very quick one there. If you look at the 4 hour now, the 4 hour does show a nice clean break and retest, and of the 4 hour 50, which I think this is the trend change here most likely. If we can break the 140 barrier Monday, Tuesday time, hopefully Monday actually in all fairness, then that would be very nice for the week. It would for the pound to power up and the yen to get weaker. The reason why I think it's significant here another time is because if you look at every time, it's just trying to chop through nothing, or it's respected it nicely and done this, but it hasn't actually broken up, then come down for a retest, then rallied away from it again for quite some time, except for actually at the start of this zone back in January, where it come up here on the left, come down here, kind of respected it, then shot up. That's the last time it really respected the 4 hour 50 as nice as this for a trend change. So it's one to keep an eye on, it is, but for now at the moment you just want to just sit back and relax, see what happens really. But like I said, breaking and retest of 140 would be wonderful. I'm sorry it's taking a little bit longer than usual break into this, but I thought if I explained to you the dollar index chart as well, to why I think my Aussie dollar long is still kind of viable, then I think that's more valuable than just saying I think it go long. But there's the reason why now, guys. Hope you had a good weekend and look forward to speaking to you soon. Take care.